Hello, everyone. Welcome to Tooth and Claw Podcast. We have Wes Larson with us. He has been reading books about animals since he was 0 years old.
Maybe.
Child
And
prodigy.
Yeah. Mom probably read
He's
them.
been making stuff up about animals since he was like 4, too.
That's true. That one's definitely true. I try not to do that anymore.
I'm Jeff Larson. I'm Wes's brother. I'm kind of the brains behind it all. And then we got Mike Smith, who
just showed up one day. He just kind of showed up.
Ambled on
Mike's
in.
Mike's like the glue of the team, you know?
Yeah.
Glue guy.
The
That's a high
emotional heart.
compliment.
He's a glue guy.
It's
Yeah.
wild that you claim to be the brains of the operation when Wes was reading books when he was 0. You must have some serious intelligence.
I'd say like Mike's the O.J. Simpson of the podcast. Just you can give him the ball and he'll score a touchdown.
That's
Right.
what he's famous for.
A little too
Yeah.
nice to be cast as the Terminator kind of thing.
The juice. Well, thanks for that intro, Jeff.
And Wes, you're like the best of us, so I'd say you're like Tiger Woods.
I don't. I can pretend I'm him in that photo.
He's going through
Well,
it, isn't he?
I definitely don't think I'm the best of us, Jeff. I think you or Mike would take that award any day. But
Wow.
I appreciate.
You're saying me or Mike's Tiger Woods?
Yeah.
Who are you?
Let's think of someone who doesn't have any kind of
maybe Dennis Rodman.
drama around them. Yeah, Dennis Rodman. That's a good one.
An affinity for North Korea.
Dude, I kind of do. So, all right.
Well, talk to your daughter.
Does he not talk to his daughter?
She's
Married
on
to
the
Carmen
US
Electra for 8 hours or whatever.
She's on the U.S. women's soccer team. And she's like,
Wow, I
I
talked
feel
to
like I
her.
don't have a dad.
Huh.
She's dating someone famous.
The closest thing I have to a daughter
Oh,
is my
yeah.
dog Polly, and I talk to her all the time.
She's dating one of the best U.S. tennis players,
Oh, who's that?
Shelton.
Oh, cool.
Blake.
Yeah.
Blake Shelton. Yeah.
Is that? I thought that was the country
No,
singer.
I think it's Ben
yeah.
Shelton.
That is
Yeah.
Blake
Chew
Shelton.
tobacco, chew tobacco, chew tobacco, spit.
I think all three of us have spent a fair amount of time driving around this big old country of ours, haven't we?
Sure thing.
Yeah,
Personally, I've driven to all of the states besides Hawaii. Had to fly to that
that's
one.
why you're the best of us.
That's not true. And for a little while, I actually had a job as a long haul trucker and got to visit all those states a second time. And I'm curious if you guys feel the same way about this. When I would drive around different parts of the country, I kind of felt like each part of the country had a distinct emotion to it. Like when I would drive through the Rockies, I felt kind of awestruck and alive, really meditative driving through the desert, kind of high strung and bored driving along the eastern seaboard, like when it's just lined with trees. But honestly, like the place that maybe surprised me the most was how I felt driving through the South. Do you guys kind of have the same like reaction when you're on road trips? Like the landscape kind of dictates your emotion to some extent?
Yeah, I think so. Especially the desert.
Desert and mountains are
Okay.
the big one.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty normal thing to feel. For me, like in the South, it almost felt like driving through a different country. And I also feel like people in the South just have a really unique flair to them, generally more considerate and just warm. And I have this really nice memory of driving through the swamp in southern Louisiana and listening to CCR like right as the sun was going down and just feeling like super, like it was a perfect moment, one of those like moments, you know? And I kind of wonder if that's how Gaylord Brooks felt when he would drive in the South. Do you guys ever wonder about that? If that's how Gaylord Brooks was feeling?
When was Gaylord driving around the South?
Now I do.
Well, in January of 2017, he was on one of those trips in the South.
Yeah. I think he felt the same way.
Gaylord is a choice to name your kid that. I think in 2017, he's like probably in his 50s, or maybe even early 60s. But still, even if you named your kid in 1960, name him Gaylord, that's a bit of a choice.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
My dad always tells me that the story of, I think it was his first grade teacher her name was Gay Laser, which I just
They're
think
building
that's
one of
like
those, right, Jeff?
Gay Laser.
Yeah, he's our conspiracy guy.
Turning the frogs gay.
That's such a cool name.
That is a really cool name. We had a candy store growing up in the mall called Gaylords, which was pretty
Really?
fun.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
remember. Yeah, that was a candy store chain, I think. Even.
Yeah. Anyway, Gaylord in 2017 was on one of these trips. He's driving an 18-wheeler through some of the southern states. And during a stop in one of those states, and unknown to Gaylord, he picked up a hitchhiker. And for whatever reason,
Unknown to him.
Unknown to him.
All right. Oh, so this is a bit of a mystery. I see. Okay.
Yeah,
So
it
this
is a mystery.
Black bear story.
It was a great white shark. For whatever reason, this tiny stowaway decided to scurry into the cab of his truck and then up his pant leg.
That must have been like a Danny DeVito type.
It could have been when he was sleeping or when he was driving, but Gaylord was about to have one of the most painful experiences of his life. He didn't feel the two bites. One was on his upper thigh and one on his butt. But as he got back to his hometown, on his butt, didn't feel it. When he got back to his hometown of Jackson, Michigan, he started to feel some pain and some swelling in those bite areas. Days later, the annoying hot pain turned into a deep, throbbing pain, and he began to feel worse and worse physically. When two dark areas that looked like rotting skin appeared on his thigh and his butt, he went to the hospital. And as he was checking himself in, he blacked out at the counter.
Whoa.
Oh, that's
Made it just in time.
unfortunate.
It is unfortunate. Well, it's kind of fortunate because they probably don't make you wait then. You know,
That's
they
a good
probably just
point.
rush you in.
I don't know because he didn't finish checking in, right?
I think even then they probably just rush you in if you black
I
out.
think
Of the
you
counter.
gotta check in.
Yeah, you got to write your full last name. You probably missed the last couple letters.
They're just waiting
He
for it.
just
We have
wrote
no
gay.
idea who this guy is.
Yeah. So Brooks was examined, Gaylord, and when doctors looked at his legs, it looked as though someone had poured acid on him. He was taken into surgery, where doctors had to remove large amounts of flesh from his lower buttocks, hamstring, and thigh. And he would go on to say that doctors took all of his flesh, muscle, and meat, and that they cut out tissue up to a half-inch from his femur. So they, kind of destroyed his legs. Like, he didn't really have much left, or his leg.
Yeah.
Basically, he said after cutting away all this necrosis, it looked like he had been attacked by a shark, not a tiny invertebrate. He would go on to spend 2 weeks in an intensive care unit, an additional 3.5 weeks in the hospital. He had 5 total surgeries on his leg, and as doctors realigned and reconstructed his remaining leg muscles, he also did plastic surgery. He had to relearn how to walk, and doctors told him that he might always have pain.
Wow.
Jeez.
Do you think you had to relearn how to ride a bike? Because you never forget that.
Probably. Maybe not, though.
Do you rem-
It's probably easier when you have a big injury like that to ride a bike than it is to walk, right?
Yeah.
I don't
Imagine if an elephant ever learned how to ride a bike. He would extra never forget.
know. That's true.
Or she.
Thanks for being inclusive there, Mike.
Yeah.
All right. Now, a second story about a bite from our mystery animal. In rural Tennessee, a mom is staring at the clutter her kids have left in the basement. She's SMHing, Jeff. She's just shaking her head,
It's just these kids.
muttering to herself, these damn kids.
Yeah.
There's piles of clothes everywhere. Toys are scattered all over the floor. And as she cleans up after her kids, who just left to go fishing with their dad, she's already coming up with new chore assignments for all 3 of them. But while she
A
cleans...
Wheels make it fun.
we had wheels. Yep. That's true. What was your least favorite thing to get on the chore wheel?
Dishes for me.
I don't know. Weirdly, my favorite was bathroom, though.
Yeah. Bathroom
Oh,
was
wow.
quick.
Yeah.
Huh.
I don't know. I got satisfaction from cleaning the toilet after I
Yeah.
did paint jobs all week.
Ew.
Huh. All right. Well, we're just going to move on. While she cleans, what she doesn't notice is the small flash of motion across the floor near the corner of her daughter's room. Her 6-year-old is especially messy, and she wonders how long this bathroom towel has been wadded up in the corner as she throws it into the hamper and dreams of sitting on a beach in Bali with her husband long before they ever had kids with a good book and a Mai Tai. Maybe it's because she's daydreaming, or maybe it's just her irritation taking over. But again, she doesn't see the quick brown blur on the floor as she pulls the towel up and away, and she doesn't see it lead to her daughter's discarded rain boot.
They're brown bears.
Tiny ones.
The next day, the kids have finally managed to complete the list of chores their mom gave them, and when they get back from fishing, all three are ready to go outside and play. Summer just started. The world feels full of possibility, which we've talked about. There's no better feeling than when you're a kid and the summer just started. They go to run outside, but their mom stands in their way and points to the approaching rain clouds, tells them to grab their raincoats and their boots. As the 6-year-old girl runs into her room, desperate to keep up with older siblings, she crams her foot into her boot as fast as she can, and she feels a tiny pinch. Almost like there's a pine needle or something in her boot. She thinks nothing of it, and she runs out to play with their siblings. And nothing else happens. They have a great summer, and she feels totally fine.
What?
All right. So those are 2 stories that feature our animal today. You guys have any guesses what we're talking about?
Tiny and brown. John Leguizamo.
I'm going to guess it's some type of spider.
It is a spider, and it has actually the word brown in its name. So now I know you guys can get it.
Brown
Oh.
recluse.
The brown recluse. Yes, we are talking finally about an incredibly feared spider in the US, and one that probably shouldn't be nearly as feared as it actually is.
Mm.
And do you know why that is?
Why is that, Wes?
Well, which of those 2 stories do you guys guess is more typical of a brown recluse spider bite?
The
It's
second one.
hard to get to someone's butt, you know? It's sitting
That's true.
down.
Yeah.
He could have been
So, yeah,
sleeping though.
second one.
It's the second one. Most brown recluse bites go pretty much unnoticed. There's maybe a little bit of swelling and pain, a little bit of redness, and then it goes away. That's how like 90% of these bites play out. And if you just pay attention to the media, you would think that every single bite from this spider turns into this like big gaping black hole of necrosis on wherever you got bit.
Mm.
And there are some.
Are we the media?
We are the media, but we're hoping to be different than the mass media, mainstream
Gotcha.
media. Yeah. There are bites from brown recluses that develop into much more, and the symptoms from the first story are incredibly rare, but they can happen. And then there are stories of even worse symptoms, which we are going to talk about. But because this is a complicated animal, a maligned animal, one that a lot of people are afraid of, I kind of want to start with a bit of biology and a bit of explanation about this spider. And I think it's really interesting. Sometimes I think you can tell how sucked into the animal I got by the number of windows I have open in my browser. And I have like 60 windows open right now because I just couldn't read enough about these spiders. There's a lot of stuff we're not going to have time to talk about, but we really are going to get into some interesting stuff. I even read a book. There's a guy who is kind of the leading expert on brown recluse, and he wrote a book called The Brown Recluse Spider. The guy's name is Richard S. Vedder. He's retired now, but the book is incredibly interesting.
Yeah. You can afford a house with 60 windows because you did the Dior modeling.
I
And you're
definitely
rich.
did not get paid nearly enough to afford probably even a dollhouse with 60
You live
windows.
in that mansion.
That'd be
I
scary
don't live
if
in a mansion.
all 60 of your windows had brown recluses in them, just
Oh man,
trying to get
yeah.
in. You know,
They probably wouldn't be that scary,
Trying to
actually.
eat that ass.
Just so everyone knows, I do not live in a mansion. My house is 1,100 square feet.
Wow.
that's a lot. 11,000.
Okay, so the media has done this spider a grave disservice, and I don't want people to think that our stories from today are typical of brown recluse bites, and that's why I included that first story or the second story, because that is a typical brown recluse bite.
What if they think they're atypical?
That's like neurodivergent.
Isn't that like the opposite of typical?
Yeah, they're not
Right.
though. Yeah.
They are.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, I don't know.
Kind of
Yeah,
a double
sorry, they
negative
are.
thing going on there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Another
Well,
thing,
let's get in-
I don't want
Oh, go
people. This is something I also don't want people to think. John Leguizamo's 5'8". I didn't realize that. I retract
That's how
that's
tall
not
I am.
short. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
not really short at all. So
It's a little short. I feel a little short.
I just always think of him in The Pest, and I'm like, he's just a little annoying guy in that movie. But he's not
Yeah.
that, I don't know, 5'8's pretty average, right?
I think of
Yeah.
him in Romeo and Juliet, and he seems like
cool
he's
in that.
6 feet tall in that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So pick a different brown, small person
Person.
and substitute that in for my
Cheech.
joke earlier. Cheech. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Luis Guzman.
So, brown recluses are medium-sized spiders. They're generally about 1/4 inch to 1 inch in diameter. They're typically light to medium brown colored, and their most distinctive marking is a fiddle-shaped mark on their cephalothorax, which is kind of the spider's head. Like if you're looking at a spider, the cephalothorax is what looks like their head, and the neck of that fiddle is pointing toward their abdomen. So it kind of looks like the curvy body of a fiddle, and then the neck of the fiddle points to their abdomen. If you look at pictures of brown recluses, which I definitely advise everyone to do, you can see that fiddle, and it's very apparent.
Why do you advise everyone to do that?
Because everyone thinks that they see brown recluses in their house or whatever, and they probably don't unless they live in their range, which we're going to talk about in a little bit.
That makes sense. Humans are lucky we have an easier word for head.
Yeah.
If we had to say
Cephalothorax.
cephalothorax, like when you're doing the final count for like a wedding, it's like, oh,
Yeah.
it's like about $800 per cephalothorax.
That's another thing that
Or-
like wildlife biologists and what are the insect people
Entomologist?
called again?
Entomologists. Yeah.
Yeah,
Entomologists.
entomologists just make words harder so that they have a job. You know,
They sound
Right.
smart.
it's like
Yeah.
we could just say spiderhead.
We suck.
It's the only reason you have a job.
Because they're willing to learn all those words.
If a genie gave me 3 wishes, I'm using 1 to make Tooth and Claw the biggest podcast in the world, 2 to be able to talk to bears, and 3 to wish for my cat to live forever. But since genies don't exist, I feed my cat Smalls. Smalls is fresh, human-grade cat food that does so much more than just feed your cat. It helps them live a full, healthy life. Most cat food out there is made with meat byproducts, cheap fillers, and artificial ingredients. Basically stuff that isn't great for your cat. Big Pet Food does this because it's cheaper to make. Big Pet Food, always getting us. But what they save on cost, your cat pays for with their health. Smalls is different. Their fresh recipes are made with at least 80% animal protein, and they're gently cooked to retain all of their nutrients and flavor. They never add fillers or artificial ingredients, and their food is so healthy that 88% of cat parents say that after feeding Smalls, their cats have better digestion, a softer and shinier coat, and more energy to play, because it's actually good for your cat. Your cat's health and longevity starts with what they eat. Try Smalls and get 60% off your cat's first order, plus free shipping and free treats for life when you go to smalls.com/tooth. One last time, that's 60% off your first order, plus free shipping and free treats for life when you head to smalls.com/tooth. And this isn't an insect. Let's remember that. This is an arachnid. A really unique
So
identifying...
entomologists won't even look at him.
They do actually, but it would be a specific subset of entomologists called arachnologist. Arachnologist, I think. Yeah, anyway. A really other unique thing about brown recluses that you can notice is they only have 6 eyes rather than the typical 8 that most spiders have. And those 6 eyes are arranged in pairs, so it kind of gives them the appearance of having like 3 big eyes on their cephalothorax. I could explain a bit more about how they look, but honestly, the best way to get a feel for them is just to look at some pictures. If you're terrified of spiders, maybe not, but we'll post some to our Instagram too. I think they're a really cool looking spider, but they are a kind of creepy looking spider too.
Yeah, they are.
They're found, and this is an important part of all of this, they're found in Nebraska, Iowa, Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, Kentucky, Tennessee, Texas, Kansas, Oklahoma, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, kind of, Alabama, Mississippi, Arkansas, and Louisiana. So kind of throughout the Southeast, and then up into kind of the Midwest a bit too. Outside of those places, there are maybe tiny populations in some of those states bordering those states, like Michigan, Florida, New Mexico. But people that study the spider don't think there's actually like real population in any other state besides the ones I listed.
Okay.
And some of the ones I listed don't really have many at all. Like the states that have a ton of this spider are like Tennessee, Kansas has quite a few. Some of those, Arkansas, Oklahoma, those states have a fair amount of brown recluses. Okay. The reason that's important is you do not need to worry about brown recluse spiders if you do not live in one of those states. Sure, it's possible that one could hitchhike to your state, but it would just be one spider. It wouldn't be a population. So the chances of being bitten by this spider are very low. The chances of being bitten by it outside of its range are essentially zero. So don't worry about them if you don't live in those states.
Well, do they have them in zoos?
They might. Yeah, but
So maybe you gotta worry.
I wouldn't worry.
Zoo?
Yeah. If there's
Sure.
like a Harambe situation with a brown recluse, they have to shoot it.
Someone's kid falls in the brown recluse enclosure.
She's trying to protect the kid.
they make a statue out of it, but it's also just life size, like the Harambe
It
one.
like wraps the kid in a web, and then they shoot it, and then everyone on the internet's like, "No, look, it's just trying to protect him."
Okay, this spider is much more active in the warmer months. They're typically found in dark, confined spaces, hence the name recluse. This is a very shy spider. There are spiders out there that we've talked about that are kind of
Reclusive,
aggressive.
if you will.
Yeah. Like the Brazilian wandering spider is a spider that kind of defends itself and is a little bit defensive, if not aggressive. This is not one of those spiders. They just try and get away. They don't want to bite.
So the Brazilians wandering spiders wander a bit, and these ones stay
They do.
more recluse.
Yeah. And
Oh,
there's
recluses.
there's a South American variation of the brown recluse called the Chilean recluse, and it's quite a bit more dangerous. We'll probably do an episode on them at some point. But our brown recluse, even though it has some potent venom, it's very shy. So you could have, if you live in its range, you could have a lot of these spiders in your house or your garage or whatever, and you'd never really see them because they are very reclusive.
Are these
Okay.
one of the spiders when they mate the female kill the dude?
No, you better believe we're going to get into mating,
Okay,
Mike,
I'll
and
wait
you
then.
better buckle up.
Hmm.
You're going to have to take a
All right.
cold shower afterwards.
Let me know when, and I'll strap
All right.
up.
Okay. They are predatory, like all spiders, and they mostly eat small insects like crickets or silverfish. Silverfish are that kind of weird looking insect with all the little legs that you sometimes see in your basement or whatever. They can eat stuff bigger than them too, and will sometimes eat other spiders and even other brown recluses. They actively hunt their prey, and with smaller prey like crickets, they'll subdue it while injecting venom. So they'll like jump on it, subdue it like a wrestler would, and inject venom.
Smart.
With bigger prey, they'll kind of do this little standoff until they find a weak spot. Then they jump forward, quickly bite and inject venom, and then wait for it to take effect.
Oh.
And then in the book that I read, the author, who again is one of the premier recluse experts, says that if their prey is especially big, sometimes the brown recluse will ride it like a bucking bronco,
Hey.
biting it until paralysis sets in, which is pretty cool.
Huh. Maybe like a big grasshopper or something.
Yeah. That is actually what he used as an example, a big grasshopper. So
Yeah.
That's cool.
good one. A point for Jeff.
I'll put-
That
I'll
sounds
put it
fun.
in.
Yeah.
Jeff is up
It
Like, do you
does.
think they like watch each other do it?
Maybe.
Score it?
Riding
Like,
something
yeah, that's
big,
it. Like bull riding, you know?
like Mike's mom. Yeah.
You got what'd you say? You gotta ride it for 10 seconds and whatever grasshopper kicks the most.
Yeah. They probably do.
That'd be cool. That's probably where we got the idea.
8 seconds though for us.
Oh, yeah.
Bowls.
That's a rodeo I'd go to.
They're long-lived spiders.
That's a
and
rodeo
probably-
John Hammond would go to. He's all like watching fleas,
That's
going
true.
roller coasters, or
Fleas.
whatever.
God,
Yeah.
I always
Dude,
disassociate
I
during
bet
that part
that'd
of the
be
movie.
fun to bet money on.
Yeah. Flea trapeze, a wee flea trapeze. They're long-lived spiders, and a big part of that is probably because they slow down a lot during the winter. These brown recluses in captivity have lived over 5 years, which is really long for a spider, exceptionally long.
That's nothing.
And then Another crazy thing about them is they can go over a year without feeding, which again is very abnormal for spiders. Spiders generally feed very often, and brown recluses can go over a year without feeding a single time.
Mm,
Oh, man.
that's something. That's good.
Okay, we're going to talk about mating. I've got a good description
Whoa.
on how these spiders mate from the book. You guys got to promise not to get too fired up by this, though.
No
right.
promises.
You
Break
got to
out my
promise
fan.
me. All right, here's the description verbatim. Typically, just placing a male in an arena with a virgin female is enough to get the process started. You guys know how that is. The male approaches the
I can
female.
imagine.
Virgins
And
are
when-
overrated.
Not to the volcano gods. That's all
That's
they
true.
want, dude. If you throw some loose hussy into a volcano, they're not going to be appeased.
Jason, he's
only-
not going to kill a virgin.
Right.
All right. The male approaches the female, and when he senses her presence, he stops walking around the arena. He often plucks at her web, sending vibrations to alert her that he is a suitor and not prey. Then he faces the female, moves his first pair of legs over her, stroking her front legs in an apparent embrace, and vibrates his legs while draping them over the female.
Oh, man.
Oh, it's picking
Wow.
up. It's getting hot.
Holy.
Oh, wait, just wait for this next line. Both spiders vibrate their palps almost continuously, which is kind of their sex organs,
Stop, Wes.
especially when they touch each other. We need to put some like romantic music behind this, Bill.
It's pretty standard stuff so far.
No, this
for
is
Jeff
getting
it
hot.
is.
This is what I don't know.
You
He
vibrate your
vibrates
palp,
palp.
continuously.
Yeah.
All right. The vibration actually produces a sound called stridulation, causing the spider moving a little peg or pick over the palp over a series of ridges on the chelicera, making
All right,
a
not
noise
so
similar
little.
making a noise similar to running a stick over an old-fashioned washboard.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Either partner
It's like in tourist gift shops, they sell the little frogs with the wood thing you run
Yeah,
over its back.
if you do that, all the spiders around are going to be like,
These
Just
spiders are
super
kind of
orgasming
romantic.
out of control.
they are. Yeah.
Like vibrating, touching each other, playing music.
Palps.
That's pretty,
Yeah.
that's like, that's a nice scene.
Yeah.
Mm.
Then, either partner may give a single violent shake to the web or pulse their abdomen. The female then moves her front legs upward and backward, which causes the front part of her body to angle up. The male then moves under the female, oh, here we go, and inserts
Wow.
his palps into the female's reproductive opening.
Okay.
Typically, both palps are inserted simultaneously. Initial insertions last 20 to 30 seconds, with subsequent insertions being shorter. We've all been there, you know?
20 to 30 seconds is pretty decent.
2 palps, too.
I like that they do foreplay. That's cool.
Yeah, the mating terminates when one of the spiders abruptly runs away.
Walk of
Tell me
shame.
about
You
it,
know that
right?
scene in
Yeah,
Spider-Man
usually me.
2 where Tobey Maguire makes the net and they're just like both cuddling in his web?
Oh yeah, his
I mean-
palps are vibrating.
Both of them.
Yeah, I bet you that's when they cut away, they did that.
Yeah. She abruptly pulsed her
Step for
abdomen.
step. Like he is a spider guy now.
He is. All right. Well, honestly, like all of our little creepy critters that we've done on the podcast, they're so fascinating that I could go on and on and on about their biology. But let's get into the part that's probably most important to our listeners, which is their bites. Without a doubt, the thing that has given the brown recluse the most fame or infamy is their idea that these bites cause big patches of necrosis. Just picture like a big rotting chunk of flesh with crusty, dead black flesh around the middle. They have that
Mm.
classic kind of target shape. And the way that the spider is represented in most media, you would assume that that's the norm for brown recluse bites, but it's actually far from the norm. In fact, the vast majority of their bites are completely medically insignificant and just heal on their own. And there are a contingent of people out there, most of them people that are well educated in this spider and its venom, that think that it actually isn't capable of producing much of that necrotic effect, and that the necrosis is actually just the result of a staph infection from someone who's scratching the bite a lot. which I don't agree with. I think it can cause necrosis. So let's break this down a little bit because it's confusing. I'm going to dispel a few myths, and at the end, we're going to talk about kind of our final verdict on brown recluse spiders and their bites.
Some people think that huge patch of dead skin basically is just being caused by someone itching it too much.
Yeah, like a bacterial infection that they get in their spider bite because
It'd
they're
be
really
more
like
itchy and they scratch
this
and they
guy
have like
had,
gross
like,
stuff.
A real sticky poop and didn't wash his hands after wiping, and then
Right.
itched his spider
bite.
bite with poopy fingernails.
Exactly.
Type of thing.
That's a very graphic example for
Okay.
everyone that was wondering what this looks like.
Sure, just
Yeah.
as one possible. Yeah,
Because
gotcha.
staph infections can cause similar looking wounds. They can cause necrosis. They can get really gross.
Makes sense.
Could be he reached in a toilet, touched someone else's poop.
That's
Right.
true. It doesn't have to be his own poop.
It could have been you, Jeff, cleaning all those bathrooms
paint
since you
jobs.
liked it so
Could have,
much.
if I got bit by a spider while I was cleaning those, and then I didn't wash my hands. Yeah.
Yeah.
Always wash your hands, everyone, please.
You know what? The other day, Jeff was wearing some corduroy pants that I really liked, and I asked him where he got them, and he said Quince. And then literally a few minutes later, he asked me where I got my sunglasses, and I said Quince. And I really like that we're finding really cool stuff that we really like at Quince. And the thing I like so much about Quince is that getting a good wardrobe that will stand the test of time doesn't have to break the bank. They have premium materials, thoughtful design, and everyday staples that are easy to wear, easy to rely on, and much cheaper than buying from luxury brands. They really have everything that I would want in my wardrobe. Stuff like cotton sweaters, lighter jackets, really cool sunglasses, corduroy pants. The list goes on and on and on. And they work directly with top factories that cut out the middlemen so you're not paying for brand markup, just quality clothing. And I have really been impressed with how well made everything seems. I feel like this is clothing that's going to last a really long time. And we all know the problems with fast fashion. So I'm really excited that we get to partner with Quince. So refresh your wardrobe with Quince. Go to quince.com/tooth for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. They have tons of options. I know you guys are going to find something good. And now they're available in Canada too. So that's quince.com/tooth. Free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/tooth. Something that happens to me a lot is I get my bank statement or my card statement and I find that I've spent quite a bit more than I thought. And those little purchases can just add up. And for me, it's really important that I have some help getting my finances under control. And that's why I love telling you guys about Rocket Money. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps you find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, which is what I needed, and helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings. But there's really so much more to it than that. There's a ton of different things that Rocket Money does. It helps you consolidate your checking, your savings, your loans, and your investments all into a single dashboard to give you a clear view of your financial picture. And one thing I really love about Rocket Money is they give you alarms and alerts if there's maybe a large transaction or some kind of unexpected transaction on your account. And a lot of you know that I have been scammed a couple times, so having those kind of alerts really helps me know that I'm in full control of my finances and no one else is using them without me knowing. So let Rocket Money help you reach your financial goals faster. Join at rocketmoney.com/claw. That's rocketmoney.com/claw. rocketmoney.com/claw. So first myth that we're gonna dispel is that these spiders like biting people. They really don't want to bite people. We are not prey for them. Venom is energetically costly. It's very valuable to them. They really just use it as a way to get prey and they use it as defense as a last resort. So pretty much every brown recluse bite comes from a situation where the spider's highly agitated and thinks it's about to die. So generally that involves it being like partially squished or pinned. It can happen like a glove or a shoe or in folds of clothing or in bed sheets because the spider's been pinned against something. It thinks it's about to die, so it decides to bite. I watched a lot of YouTube videos, some from our friend Jack, of people just holding these spiders, them crawling all over them like really agitating the spider, and it's still not biting. Jack did finally induce a bite where he pushed it against his skin and it finally bit him.
Wow.
He's actually done it twice. The first bite, he really didn't have any reaction. The second one, he had a bit of a systemic reaction. He had that little target forming on his hand.
Everyone pray for Jack.
Pray for Jack. He's okay.
For now.
Well, thank you
He-
for all your
he-
prayers. It worked.
Yeah, he might touch some poo in a toilet.
He freaking loves these spiders.
Really?
Yeah. They have really small, brittle fangs, actually, and they're fused together, and those fangs can't penetrate through much clothing. So it's really unlikely that you're ever going to get bitten in the first place by this spider.
Mm.
And here's a few examples of just
So who's,
how...
like, the most protected? Like, Prince would have probably never got bit because he has, like,
He's
gloves
covered
and
in
jackets
leather.
and pants
Yeah.
all the time.
Mm.
Yeah.
Or Chris Novoselic, he never wore shoes when he played.
Yeah.
He's the bass player for Nirvana.
Doesn't that make you more...
It's more prone to
susceptible?
getting bit. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
like if you're not putting shoes on, you have no chance of
That's
a spider
true.
hiding in there.
That's a
yeah.
good point.
So everything else,
And if
but
you
shoes,
just step on one, it's probably not going to bite you because you're going to kill it before it can.
especially him, he's got big.
Yeah.
He's like 6'8" or
Unless you
whatever.
just
That dude is
nick it.
big.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
So he's safe.
So here's a few examples of just how not prone to biting these spiders are. Okay. An 8th grade teacher in Oklahoma took his students on, and these are real examples, took his students on an insect collecting trip, and he noticed a group of students were very busy around some loose bricks. And when he finally checked up on them, he saw that they had collected 60 brown recluse spiders with their fingers without getting a single bite. So these are 8th graders, so they're not being very delicate. They're picking these spiders up with their fingers, and they collected 60 without a single bite. Some people in Tennessee caught 44 brown recluses in sticky traps in only 24 hours in their house, which means they had a lot of these spiders living in their house, and they were never bitten. The craziest one is probably this woman from Kansas who reported having a lot of brown recluses in her home, so a scientist asked her to trap them and send them to him, and she collected 2,055 brown recluses over a 6-month period.
Dude.
Her family had lived in that home for 11 years, and during that 11 years, only once had someone been bitten by a spider. Their finger turned red for a few days, and then it healed.
That's bad. Ooh.
So when someone is bit, the venom yield is going to have an effect on their symptoms. So a longer bite with more of that load released is likely going to trigger bigger effects in the bite.
Redder fingers.
Yeah, redder fingers. Once again, the vast majority of these people are not really going to have any symptoms aside from a little inflammation and itchiness. But now we're going to talk about people that do have much more intense reactions to the venom. So recluse spiders like the brown recluse and the Chilean recluse have the ability to cause what's known as loxoscelism in humans, which is essentially necrosis from a recluse spider bite. They have a specific enzyme in their venom that can lead to the destruction of red blood cells and necrosis around the bite site. Once again, there are people that argue that recluses don't have a medically significant amount of that enzyme in their venom, but personally I think that's a stretch. And I think we're good to say that about 90% of people aren't going to have any kind of medically significant reaction, but a small number of people will. So aside from just that necrosis, loxoscelism can also lead to systemic effects like nausea, fever, vomiting, rashes, and joint pain. And then there's evidence that in a tiny fraction of the bite victims, that will lead to systemic problems in their bloodstream, which can lead to clotting, low platelet levels, organ failure, and death.
Ooh.
So a study
Wow.
in 2004 found that necrosis, that's the worst. Dying.
Death. Right.
Do you think their bites are worse for us or our bites are worse for them?
Our bites are worse for them.
Yeah.
We are much scarier to the spider than
No
it ever
venom,
could be
though.
to us. We don't have venom, but our bites are worse to them.
Dry biting.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. A study in 2004 found that necrosis occurred in about 37% of patients that sought treatment after a brown recluse bite, and systemic illness in about 14%. So you might be saying right now, Wes, 37% is a pretty high number. But the thing is, those are people that went to the hospital after they were bitten. So that's a very specific group of people. That's not all the people that are bitten by brown recluses. Most people never go to the hospital.
Mm.
Insurance.
So let's tell
It's tough out
Yeah.
there.
Well, a lot of them
It's
are probably
expensive.
farmers too. They don't go to doctors.
to the gall dang doctor. A little bit of
Right,
whiskey will.
Working out on the fields in Kansas.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
You don't think they ever get bit?
I think they get bit a lot, and I think you're right.
Yeah.
They probably just say, "Oh, it's just a freaking spider."
Cut
You
their
know?
finger off.
Yeah.
Dadgummit, and then they go on with their day.
Gall darn it, pating. All right.
They've always got a spittoon so
Spittoon.
close by. How is that the case, Wes?
They have to, Mike. Where are they supposed to spit their chew?
Yeah, it's government mandated for all farmers. Every 50 feet, there's got to be one.
You know what?
What?
I don't really care if we get rid of Kansas.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Just, it wouldn't bother me.
Huh.
I
Yeah,
wouldn't miss
it's
it.
kind of the bread bowl. We need a lot of their grains.
We would lose out on some
Humid.
sports institutions.
Yeah.
Good college basketball.
Sure.
The Royals. Got
It's
Yeah.
kind
The
of dumb
Royals,
that they
Jeff.
split a city named after their state with another state. Like, they should really stop doing that.
That is a weird
I'll
move.
take that back. Kansas City was cool when I went there.
I like
Some
Kansas
old-
City.
Some old hotels.
Good food.
It's still an affordable place to live, too.
Lots of tornadoes.
Yeah, tornadoes are sick.
And I think that's actually kind of cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wizard of Oz.
Is it raining?
It's starting to rain pretty hard here.
Yeah.
So just so you guys know, that is happening. It'll add to the mood.
Can you
Okay.
have Kansas? Can you have Arkansas without Kansas? Because didn't Arkansas just kind of steal that name?
Kansas,
What do you mean?
Arkansas.
Because
Oh,
if you
really?
get
spelled.
you get
Yeah.
I actually have no idea. I've always thought that was kind of curious, though, right?
It
It's
is
like if we
curious.
got rid of Mexico, then New Mexico doesn't make sense anymore.
It'd just have to be
Right.
Mexico.
It would be Mexico. Yeah.
It wouldn't be the new one. It'd be the only one.
It's an indigenous name. So yes, you could have it without Kansas.
Was Kansas indigenous?
I think so. Also an indigenous name.
Well, so
Maybe
now we're
it's
in
the
the
same.
quagmire again.
Yeah.
This is a whole conundrum.
All right. So now that we've talked about the fact that most of their bites don't cause any kind of medically significant reaction, we are going to talk about a few stories where they did. Megan Lindsay is a name that some people out there listening might know, and that's because she took second place in season 8 of the show The Voice, which is a popular singing competition show here in the US.
Hmm.
Well, one morning in
Who
early
picked her?
2017, I don't know. I've never actually watched that show.
Well,
Who are the
One
judges
of the
there?
judges picked her.
Adam Levine,
Yeah,
Maroon
probably.
41. What's the
Is
number?
he still on that show? Yeah, Maroon
Maroon
5.
5.
What was his-
I was thinking some
What was
41.
his tweet that went viral, or his message that went viral? Like,
Your body is absurd or whatever.
Yeah.
your body is.
He was like
absurd.
sending really desperate, weird messages to
That's pretty
women.
weird.
Yeah.
Mm.
Uh,
I think that's a
Anyway.
Gwen Stefani show too, right? She's or
she
Blake
was on
Shelton
that show.
or someone.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think they
Maybe
were both
both.
on
Blake
it
Shelton.
at one point. I think
Maybe
that's
that
how
was
they met.
their meet cute.
Yeah.
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 They sang at each other.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right. Yeah, dude. Like freaking Baron and Luthien. All right.
Sure.
One morning in early 2017, Megan rolled over in bed and felt an intense stinging feeling on the left side of her face under her eye. She slapped at it and then stared in horror at her right hand because there was a big, dying brown spider that fell down from her hand and it lay dying on her bed. And she immediately recognized it as a brown recluse spider.
Wow.
Swelling was her first symptom, and then it led to some pretty intense stinging pain that night, and then it got worse and worse, and she finally decided to go to the emergency room. Doctors looked at her sting and pretty much said there wasn't much they could do, but that the sting would likely calm down, or it might get worse. And unfortunately for Megan, it got a lot worse.
Some good doctoring there.
That's interesting. It's
Yeah.
kind of.
Could really go either way here.
It'd be a crazy story if she just got better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting, like, because when you see like the videos where people will tickle someone's face with a feather, and then they always slap their face with like whipped cream or whatever, you know. And
Yeah.
it's like interesting. That's the reaction, is to like slap a tickle,
Yeah.
and maybe it's because of this. Maybe
It could be. Yeah,
before
like
we had
bugs and-
houses, we probably had spiders crawling on our faces all the time.
Yeah.
Back when
I-
we were
and even in
primates.
our houses. Spiders
mean,
like houses.
that
They give them
stat
like a
that-
lot of cover.
We all eat 700 spiders a year or whatever.
It's not
Think of
true.
how many
Yeah.
that was before we had houses.
Yeah. Yeah. That stat
Millions.
isn't true. We don't eat spiders. They don't crawl
Because
in
we
our
slap
mouths.
them off.
Right.
Yeah. All right.
How many times
Megan
do you
broke-
think you've slapped yourself in the face and not realized? Is that something you
night?
think we're doing? Yeah.
Probably.
I think I'd normally
don't-
realize it.
Yeah, I think I'd realize
Wake
it.
yourself up.
I'm a kind of a light sleeper.
Mm.
Maybe
Okay.
twice.
Yeah.
So if a
Once.
spider snuck into your mouth, you'd like wake up and you'd spit it out even before you ate it.
I'd
I would
let
think
it
so.
have its babies in me.
It's a weird way to
Okay.
phrase that.
Yeah, serious.
That's what they do.
Let it
They go in your mouth. They have their babies.
blow its
and
load.
Babies all come out.
Is that what they're
baby
trying
load.
to do?
Yeah, 7 times a year.
Oh
All
my
right.
gosh.
Megan broke out in a full body rash. She got a weird welt on her throat and shooting nerve pains in both her shoulder blades and her face. On day 7, after her bite, the bite spot started to get pretty dark and then got darker and darker over the next few days.
Mm. And she
Turned
was the
in-
one on The Voice?
But this was after she was on The Voice. After a few more days, it's a big black spot of dying skin and flesh that was about the width of a golf ball. I was trying to think of something to like show how big it was. It was like kind of the size of one of those big pink erasers that you would have. So she went back to the doctor. They confirmed that she had necrosis and that some of the skin and flesh on her face was dying. She reached out to specialists. She finally found one that immediately put her into a hyperbaric chamber. And
Hmm.
after a few treatments, she found that her necrosis had stopped and she was able to start healing.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah. And we're going to talk about that. There's really not much you can do for these bites, but apparently that helped her kind of jumpstart her healing. Okay. We're going to talk about 2 stories of the worst case scenario from a brown recluse bite. And both of those happen to be stories from 2014.
The year of the brown recluse.
What?
The
Yeah, it's
year of the brown recluse.
Yeah, apparently.
Is the Chinese New Year animal.
My dog Shanks is an adorable tripod that I recently rescued. He has the softest hair. He hops around everywhere. He has a big old smile with a floppy tongue, and then he has a spot on his eye, and he's just so cute. I can't even help it. I just want to hug him all day long. One of our favorite things to do is to go to the local coffee shop where, without fail, everyone in the shop wants to pet Shanks. He gets the attention that he's craving, and I grift off him and get the attention that I'm craving. I'm just so happy to have Shanks in my life now. And if anyone understands being dog obsessed, it's Ollie. They're relentless about delivering the best food and experience for you and your dog, and they give you a way to check in on their health over and over again. With Ollie, you don't just get food. Through their app, you can actually check in on your dog's health with real vets just by uploading a picture. Their team can check in on your dog's weight, digestion, teeth, coat, because they're obsessed with making sure your pup is as healthy as can be. Call me crazy, but since switching to Ollie, I've noticed that Shanks smiles a little wider and he's just happier overall, and now he loves eating food. Get ready for both you and your pup to be obsessed. Head to ollie.com/tooth, tell them all about your dog, and use code TOOTH to get 70% off your welcome kit when you subscribe today. Plus, they offer an obsession guarantee. If you're not completely obsessed, you get your money back. That's ollie.com/tooth. And enter code TOOTH to get 70% off your first box. Ollie, feed the obsession.
For a very long time, I didn't understand thirst and hydration. I really just thought you had to replace water, and now I've learned that you also have to replace electrolytes. An electrolyte deficiency or imbalance can cause headaches, cramps, fatigue, brain fog, poor sleep, and general weakness. And you really feel the difference when you get it right. And that's why I love that we are partnered with Element. Element is a zero sugar electrolyte drink mix and sparkling electrolyte drink born from the growing body of research revealing that optimal health outcomes occur at sodium levels 2 to 3 times government recommendations. Each serving is going to deliver a meaningful dose of electrolytes, and we've been partnering with Element for a while, and I can really feel the difference. I have more physical energy, more mental energy. When I have the chance to fill up my water bottle with Element, I always know that I'm just going to feel a little bit better that day as compared to just having a water bottle with normal water. I always just feel a little bit more myself, some more energy, and just clearer mind, and it's easier to do daily tasks. We've been singing Element's praises for years now on the show, and there's a reason we've stuck with them so long. All three of us just love their product. I truly drink it every single day, and I absolutely love it. I just love that it tastes better than water too. It's fun to drink Element, but you don't need to take it from me. You can try Element yourself and see how you feel. Element has a world-class customer service team, and if for any reason you aren't satisfied, they will take care of you. So you can receive a free Element sample pack right now with any order when you go to drinkelement.com/tooth. That's drinklmnt.com/tooth. This first one's going to be kind of a hard story. And if you don't like hearing stories about kids, you can skip it. It is kind of a rough one, though. On a Sunday morning in late November 2014, 5-year-old Branson Carlisle was playing outside when he felt a pinch on his back, a little after 9 a.m. He ran to his mom, and he said something had stung him, and when she checked his pajamas, a brown recluse spider tumbled out. Branson ate his breakfast and kept playing. I think it was dead by that point, the spider. And he seemed pretty normal to start with, but his mom wanted to be careful, so she took her son and the spider to the local clinic. Around 10 a.m., Branson started running a slight fever, and the doctor examining him was a bit worried. And that's because he knew that fever was a symptom of a systemic reaction to the venom, and he referred them to a nearby medical center. And the doctors there also took his symptoms very seriously, and they put him on antibiotics and a steroid. The bite itself was starting to look like a big bruise, and there were dark blue, black, and red marks emanating from the bite. Because of this, once again, Branson was transferred to a bigger hospital, but this time by an ambulance. At the children's hospital he was taken to, his head and stomach started hurting badly. The doctors put him on oxygen and submitted him to the ICU. Then, as his mom was waiting outside the ICU, she suddenly heard calls for O-negative blood, and a bunch of people were scrambling. Doctors from all over the hospital ran into Branson's room. And then at 11:30 p.m., a nurse came out, sat down next to Branson's mom to tell her that his heart had stopped and that they had done everything they could. His organs had failed as a result of the systemic reaction to the venom, and he had died 14 hours after having been bitten.
Oh, man.
There's a lot of potential stories, not a lot, a handful of potential stories that I found, probably less than 10, so not a lot at all, of potential deaths from this spider. I think that's the only one that I can say almost for sure was a death as a result of a brown recluse bite. And it's just incredibly tragic to have your son just playing one moment and then 14 hours later he's dead. It's like hard to even conceptualize what that must have felt like.
Yeah, no, that's so unlucky too, from what you've told us.
Exactly. And it's been 12 years, but I'm sure they're still just reeling from that. I will say that as far as people that are a little bit more susceptible to these systemic reactions, kids and the elderly are a bit more susceptible.
I wonder if like it's an animal you can get revenge on. I wonder if you just the rest of your life would smush spiders.
Going around smushing.
Probably. Yeah. And I don't think I could really blame someone for that. Okay. So this next one, that one is one that I think is pretty clear cut. This next one has a little bit more mystery around it. On June 30th, 2014, Charles and Betty Ann Strickland were at home in their house in rural Michigan when Betty Ann showed Charles a bite on the top of her foot that she'd gotten at some point during the day. It was swollen and red, but it kind of just looked like a typical insect bite, and they both brushed it off. 2 days later, Betty Ann was noticeably sick, and Charles said they should see a doctor, but because she was a nurse, she felt like she didn't need a doctor. She told her husband she just needed some rest. But another day or two passed, and she got a lot worse, and Charles finally just put his foot down and demanded they go see a doctor. As they were walking down the stairs to the car, Betty Ann complained about a lot of pain in her foot, and Charles looked at it to see there was a lump about the size of a marble. Then she started to have trouble breathing, and Charles called his daughter, who lived nearby, and then 911. As he's talking to the emergency operator, he saw his wife staring straight out into the distance and gasping for breath. She was no longer able to talk, and by the time his daughter arrived, she wasn't breathing at all. His daughter did CPR for about 40 minutes, and then the ambulance arrived and the paramedics continued CPR for about 20 to 30 minutes.
It's a long
Before-
wait.
Yeah, before finally calling it and saying that Betty Ann had passed away. One of the medical examiners investigated Betty Ann's foot and took a photo of this bite location and sent it to some experts. And within a matter of minutes, they said that it had been a brown recluse bite. One of these experts had the theory that she was bitten directly into the bloodstream, and that's why she had a reaction like she had. I don't buy that. I'm no expert on brown recluses. We've talked about a lot of different venom on this show, though. I don't think it really matters if you're bitten directly into your bloodstream. I don't think there's a big effect there. And this is me making a judgment call here. I kind of don't think that this expert was an expert on brown recluses either. And there's a few reasons for that. First of all, and just like a quick preface on that, when we've talked about animals that bite and have venom, we've learned that really there are a few specific people around the country that are true experts about those animals and what their venom does to people. And a lot of the other people actually aren't, toxicologists. Yeah, Joe Rogan is not one of those experts.
Oh, no, I seen you.
Yeah. No, he is not.
That's good to know.
So I'm not, I don't know who this expert was, but I do kind of think that they weren't a brown recluse expert. And there's two reasons for that. One is that Michigan is not in the typical range for brown recluses. It is a border state, so it's possible. And there are a few reports of them every year in Michigan, but there aren't a big population of brown recluses there. So it's highly unlikely that she was bitten by a brown recluse for that reason. The second reason that I picked up when I was reading this story, everything I read about brown recluse bites say that the bite location is almost always sunken and it's like recessed. So when you get bit by a brown recluse, where you actually get bit doesn't swell up, it kind of sinks down. And then that's the part that the necrosis spreads out from. Her bite location was raised, and it was raised like substantially. Her husband said it looked like a big swollen marble on her foot.
Mm.
And there's actually a mnemonic, say that word for me, Mike.
Mnemonic?
A mnemonic device, yeah. That helps you know if you were actually bitten by a brown recluse. It's called Not Recluse. And it has like an explanation for every letter of Not Recluse. And if any of those things are true, you probably weren't bitten by a brown recluse. So for example, N stands for numerous. So if you have 2 fang marks instead of just 1, you weren't bitten by a brown recluse because their bites look like just 1 fang mark because they have fused fangs.
Oh, the fused.
Twice.
That's right.
Close to each other.
That's possible, but not likely at all. So that's like, this isn't a foolproof thing, but it's an interesting thing to read through. And one of those things is elevated. If it's elevated, it's not a brown recluse bite because it should be a shallow depression. So,
okay.
What do I think happened to this woman? I don't doubt that she was bitten by something, but from like my narrow expertise about this, having done episodes about both spiders, I think that it's kind of likely she was bitten by a black widow. And they're not, like, they rarely kill people. Like, we talked about how there haven't been any reported deaths in a long time, but they have a really raised bump when they bite that it can look a lot like a marble, and people can have these kind of systemic reactions from their venom too. So I think if we were to blame this on a spider, it's much more likely that it's a black widow. It could also just be a delayed anaphylactic reaction to any other sting or something. So I really don't think this was a brown recluse, but whatever it was, it's really tragic.
Yeah, that's a haunting thought, to have just a barely perceptible sting or a bite that you almost don't even notice, that eventually will lead quickly, even sometimes, to your death.
Yeah.
That's going to mess with me anytime I feel like a little sting or a twitch now,
It shouldn't though. Like this episode actually made me feel a lot better about spiders that like run on the ground, because what I learned is that really none of those spiders cause necrosis aside from brown recluses, and even brown recluses, it hardly ever happens. It's really rare that they ever cause any kind of real effect.
Why did you specify spiders that run on the ground?
because those are like the ones that you typically associate with like bites, I think, in a lot of places. Like hobo spiders or ground spiders or brown
Tarantula.
recluses. Yeah, wolf spiders. They're the ones that people tend to be more worried about when it comes to bites. And they're the ones that I always thought about. And I always thought hobo spiders we have them in Montana, that they could turn into like a big necrosis like this, and they can't. It doesn't happen. One thing I just wanted to mention, a lot of the videos and stuff I saw said that there were no actual deaths attributed to brown recluses. A lot of these like quote unquote experts said that. There definitely are. Like this kid in Alabama died from a brown recluse bite. And there are a few others that are like in the medical literature as death from envenomation by brown recluse. So there are some deaths, but it's incredibly rare. But I don't think you can say that like this kid that died in 14 hours died from a staph infection, you know,
Right.
like he died from a brown recluse bite.
Right.
Okay.
Like they had the spider and everything in that one.
Yeah, exactly. And like it was positive. I saw the photo. It was a brown recluse.
It's like more than like a great white shark bite. They don't bring the shark in the hospital. Be like, oh,
Right.
it's a great
They're
white
like, I don't
killer."
know. That
Like,
could have
this
been a
one's
staph
pretty-
infection.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was bitten by a great white shark and all my blood came out of my body. But sure.
They're
Uh,
like, yeah, they died from blood loss.
Think of how easy it would be to get a staph infection in a severed limb, though. You know,
Yeah,
that's a
it's true.
lot
Yeah.
of that surface area to put poo in.
Or a sand infection.
Hand's gone though.
Yeah,
That's one less hand for poo nails.
that's right.
That's true. All
You
right.
got to take that into account.
So after all of this, putting all of this together, what you guys have learned about brown recluses today, where do we stand on them as like their general danger? How do you guys feel about brown recluses now?
I still wouldn't want them in my house.
I think that's fair. Yeah.
And if I lived in an area with a lot of them, it's not something that I would just dismiss. But like I would probably say similar to black widows. Like it's kind of cool to see one, but I don't want them in my house.
Yeah. Mike, how do you feel?
I feel pretty good. I actually have something of an affinity for spiders. I just think they're really, really cool. And, you know, they can be threatening, I guess, in rare circumstances, but never in my life have I ever been frightened or had like any kind of existential dread over them. And
Yeah.
this episode just makes me feel even better, honestly.
Good. They kind of give me the willies a little bit, but I really like spiders too. I just think like they're like some of the most effective predators on the planet, and just really they're just so fascinating. Anytime we do a spider episode, I think about it for weeks afterward. I am kind of with like I'm on the same wavelength as Jeff. I think if I had them in my house, I would be very cautious about them. And even knowing that your chances of being bitten are incredibly small, and then your chances of having a systemic reaction are much smaller, it still is a possibility. Like the fact that there's a spider in your house that could possibly make your skin rot away or like possibly have like a worse reaction is something to think about. I would still think about it. So I don't blame anyone that has like a little bit of fear about these spiders, but I hope this episode made you realize that it's not what the media says it is, that their bites are almost always completely harmless, and they deserve to live too. This is an animal that has evolved alongside us, that has managed to make habitat out of human destruction, and I think that is something that's really beautiful. So I do like that about them. Okay, you guys got any questions about brown recluses before we move on to our categories?
I wouldn't want it to bite my butt.
Your butt? I think that's where
Yeah.
I'd most want to get bit.
Mine's already like a little small, and I just feel like my pants would fall off if it did the
If you lost
indent
anything.
thing.
Yeah, your
Yeah.
butt's had its fair share of problems lately too.
Yeah.
You don't need any others. Your butt needs a break.
It's a good
Right.
point.
It's
Yeah.
a belt.
All right. Where would you guys want to get bit? If you had to have like the necrosis, where would you want it to be?
Ooh, it's a good question.
Stomach.
I think Megan had like the worst spot, like right on your face under your eye.
Yeah.
That's a bad spot to have necrosis. She healed up really well, actually, but that's a bad spot.
Maybe my earlobe.
Interesting. Just have your ear rot off.
Yeah. I don't know.
I think like a shoulder blade would be the easiest.
Mhm.
Stomach is a good answer. Okay. Categories.
Fingernail.
Your favorite spider scene from any pop culture that kind of gives you the willies.
Fingernail's a good answer.
Yeah.
It's like a little shield.
My
Yeah.
tooth.
The tooth would be even better. Yeah. You can just hear the little like ding as they ricochet off their fangs ricochet off your teeth.
The dentist is just like, I've never seen a tooth deteriorate like this before.
Necrosis of the tooth.
Uh,
I'll go
What was
first.
your question?
Your favorite spider scene from any pop culture that gives you the willies. There's one that lives like kind of rent free in my head, and that is from the movie Arachnophobia, which I saw way too young and did kind of. I think the only reason I have any fear of spiders is because of that movie. And there's a scene in that movie where you see a spider that kind of looks like a brown recluse-ish spider, like a ground spider, that crawls into a football helmet. And it's like a big spider, and it crawls into this football helmet, and then the football player runs up, grabs the helmet, and puts it on and starts playing. And it's just this kind of ticking clock of when you know he's about to get bit. And it just really gets me. The fact that he's just playing football with this big spider in his helmet, I don't know, that one really gets me. So that's mine.
I'll go with Spider from the most recent 2 Avatar movies.
that's a great
like,
answer.
Particularly
Gives you
when
the
he's like
willies.
That dude.
trying
White
to
dreads.
act like the avatars and stuff.
Sure.
Yeah.
He
Makes
grew
me
on
need
me.
to leave the room when he comes on. I don't
He
blame.
grew on
It's
me
not.
in the third movie.
I think some of his direction for what he's asked to do is
Yeah.
rough.
I don't blame him, the actor, at all. It's just that's a weird.
But like when he's like, "What up, bro?"
What up, bro?
to,
And
like,
then he
the
starts
other
hissing at everyone.
avatars and stuff, and
Huh.
hisses you.
Well, you guys, we talked about this, right? That he had to record all his scenes alone for like
Yeah.
a year. Yeah, it's crazy.
No, he did his best. It was like a Star Wars prequels. They weren't given the best material to work with.
I love
A
those
lot of
movies.
times.
I'm all in now. I'm like unabashedly a fan of the Avatar movies now.
I don't know
All
where
right.
I'm at with them. I still haven't seen the third one.
Oh,
guess
it's so good.
like
I
a
liked it so
removed
much.
admiration, I guess. I
Dude,
don't know.
Varang, she'll make your palps vibrate if you go watch that movie.
I gotta watch that. Sounds like I'm gonna go with the Ralph Bakshi Hobbit movie in Mirkwood. When all the dwarves get wrapped up by the spiders and
Yeah.
Bilbo has to save them all. But that's such like a creepy thing to consider, is just getting ambushed by a huge spider and wrapped up in its silk and just kind of left to dangle until they eat you. And that always
Yeah.
gave me the willies when I was a wee little lad.
I thought the spiders in the Peter Jackson Hobbit were like a bright spot in that movie. I know a lot of people don't like those movies, but I thought the spider scene was pretty good until the freaking elves show up and they're just like doing all their little elf acrobatics with the spiders.
So cool.
Yeah. All right. 3 brown things that you love. Mike absolutely loves brown. So this is a category in his honor. Name 3 brown things that you really love.
So hard to answer. But when they brought back the brown color schematic for the Padres jerseys, it was like the best
Yeah.
day of my life.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe we stuck with the navy blue for so long, and it's like, why doesn't anyone use navy blue in the first place? And
Yeah,
especially
it
the
is
Padres,
the most boring color.
it's awful.
agree.
It's just really, really
Yeah.
bad. So the Pods now are often just straight up brown sometimes, and that gets me hyped.
Yeah.
There's a weird part of the sunset at the very end of the sunset when there's this weird strip of hazy brown afterglow that makes me kind of feel like I'm living in a dream state, like a fugue state when I'm driving around or just outside during that little brief 5-minute window. And I love that. There's just something about that dead sunset remaining light that just like makes me feel a way that I never get anywhere else. So there's that. Shoot. The
That's
Brown
3.
album by Primus.
Sure. That's an extra.
That's my underrated. I mean, I know it's no longer Herb on the drums, but we got Brain. That dude's kicking some
See the
serious butt on
bassist?
the set. No, that's Les.
Okay.
Les
Oh, yeah,
Claypool.
Les Claypool. Yeah.
I could go on for years, but I'll stop.
Okay.
Brownies.
Jeff.
Brownies, Wes.
I love brownies.
Oh my gosh.
I'm
Yeah.
having a hard time. You You didn't let us prepare.
I didn't
for
prep.
This one.
Okay, I'll go first then. I picked, my obvious one would be brown bears, so we're just gonna put that as an honorable mention. Brown sugar. I love brown sugar.
Oh my gosh.
I make this, and I still need to post this to our Patreon. I'm going to. I've made the video already. I make this brown sugar syrup for my coffee in the morning, and it's like part brown sugar, part maple syrup, salt, and cinnamon, and it is so good, and it makes me look forward to my like iced coffee that I drink every morning so much. I just love brown sugar.
Coffee itself, you could have. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
coffee.
a strong submission. I
smells
don't drink it
brown,
anymore,
too.
but it smells.
Yeah.
That's one of mine.
Holy
Okay,
mackerel.
we'll leave that for Jeff.
Okay.
The inside of a
Oh,
cabin,
mackerels.
Holy mackerel.
like the
Mackerel's
feeling
brown.
of being inside of like a cabin where all the exposed wood. I kind of have that feeling in my shed. It just feels very cozy and nice, and it's because of all that beautiful brown that you're just surrounded by.
You think that's more tan?
It's a shade of brown though. Tan's a shade of brown.
I'll give it to you.
Okay. And then the milk caramel sea salt Tony's chocolate bar, which is my favorite chocolate bar in existence. I feel so lucky that I can just buy it anywhere these days. It used to just be at like our Fancy Pants grocery store, but now it's like everywhere. And boy, is that a good chocolate bar.
It's freaking
So.
good. You put it on my radar, and it's really changed my life for the better and for the worse.
Oh, I buy a big one for like a trip, and I just kind of nibble at it the whole trip. So there's free
See,
ad
you
for
did-
Tony's.
You did like favorite brown things. I'm trying to think of like my favorite,
Shades of brown.
just like shades of brown that I've seen in things. Like I love the way coffee looks when it's coming out of the espresso thing, like the like smooth. I don't know. And it like changes
Silky brown.
shades a bit.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
a good color. I love
Good
like
brown.
melted chocolate color. I was
Sure.
trying to think like
Poop.
in nature,
Paint
brown
job.
bear's probably the best, right? What other brown animals?
There's
are in
lots
nature?
of brown animals.
I'm having a hard time.
Well, I guess if you're not counting tan as brown, but I do. Like
No,
elk
like
are
a
brown.
lion's not brown.
Elk are brown.
I don't think elk are brown. Elk are
Really?
tan. Tan
Elk
and
are-
brown are different.
Elk are so
Capybara.
brown.
Capybara are brown.
Capybara is a good one.
There's lots. There's so
Otters.
many brown animals. Weasels are brown. Otters are brown.
Seals,
Beavers
sea
are
lions.
brown.
Charlie
Sea
Brown.
lions are brown. Yeah, Charlie's brown.
I guess that's a way to say that.
Latinas.
I mean,
Sure.
take your pick.
That's fine. Yeah.
Penelope Cruz, dude. Are you kidding
All right.
me?
Yeah.
Salma
Who's the one?
Hayek.
You're always talking about Salma Hayek. Yeah,
Salma
brown.
Hayek.
The
All
best.
right.
That's the
We're
best
gonna
brown.
leave- we're gonna leave this category
Jenna
as quickly as
Ortega.
possible. Mike, question for you:
Mhm.
Would you rather be dropped?
Ana de Armas.
Would you rather be dropped into a pit where you are chest deep in brown recluses for 10 minutes, or have to spend a whole year where you exist in a reality where everyone around you smacks loudly when they eat?
Brown recluse. Are you serious?
Okay,
There's
that's what I
no,
thought you'd say.
not even an argument. Yeah.
Yeah,
Nothing
I'd
to
take
think
that
about.
too. And it doesn't even bug me as much.
Well,
as
Jeff,
you
I've
guys.
got your own question
Oh,
for you.
Never
So I
mind
guess
then.
I already know what you're probably going to say. Jeff, would you rather be put in a coffin with 10,000 brown recluses for 10 minutes,
Brown coffee.
or have to wait in line for an hour every day for a year? Jeff hates waiting in line.
Yeah, I'd take the coffin.
Okay. I think I would take either of the other options for those. I don't want to be in a pit with
they don't
chest
even
deep
bite
in
you,
brown
you said.
recluses. If you're chest deep in a pit of them, you're going to get bit a few times.
Wood is
and
a
if you're in a
good brown.
coffin with 10,000, you're going to get bit. I
Wood.
said
Bark.
wood. That was my whole answer
Yeah,
that
but
you said I couldn't.
Tan wood.
No, I said like the inside of a
Cabin wood.
cabin. That's like, all right, whatever.
I'd take a
Bark.
pit full of nuclear warheads armed and ready to explode before 1
You
second
would
of
take
listening
that
to.
over like lunch today, though.
It depends on what's for lunch.
You like want
You also
that.
want to live in like Japan where everyone smacks all the time and slurps.
Yeah.
They do
And
big slurs.
just happens to
Yeah.
be the only place that's been nuked.
Yeah,
Okay.
He
Sounds
loves
like-
All right.
being nuked. Is what
Hell.
I'm getting at.
I'll take that.
Our
chance.
next category, something that made you feel good this week.
I've got a double answer for this one. So I ate some tres leches, and that makes me feel good. until it starts making me feel really, really bad because I think I'm developing that later in life lactose intolerance kind of thing.
I think that's kind of happening to me too.
So then I take Pepto-Bismol, and that also made me feel really good. Pepto-Bismol, it turns out, is a miracle worker, at least for
Kind
me.
of is.
There's something about it that just immediately eases all of that kind of discomfort and pain.
Do you like
for me.
how it tastes? The
I do.
I kind of like the way it
Oh,
tastes.
I love
I'm
it.
Yeah, I was
swiveling my
about to
tongue
say
around the
that.
cup. Like I'm getting
Yeah.
every last molecule of that. Yeah, it's like dessert.
All right,
What would you
Jeff.
What if like you drink so much it gave you heartburn? What would you do then?
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, I can't have more.
You go to the doctor and your insides are just
Tums?
pink.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess they're kind of pink anyways. Do you have an answer for this, Jeff? Something that made you feel good this week?
Yeah. The Utah Mammoth won yesterday. That was fun. It's 1-1 now. National Park After Dark, my favorite business partner, Danielle, they won a Webby. So that's a big award.
It's
you know?
huge. It is big. Yeah.
Like, I think our two that we won are still bigger, but I don't know.
Yeah.
And
Best
then-
podcast.
Did we win 2?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
won a Signal Award and an Outdoor Media Award.
For best podcasts. But then they
Wow.
won the same one.
You
after.
literally have
Oh.
the trophy from one of those.
No, Jeff took it from me.
I
and
think
that-
I have.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've never seen it. No, I have seen it. Never mind.
And then, but yeah, congrats to them. Well deserved.
Yeah. Amazing.
You know?
Definitely. Yeah.
And then 420 happened, and that made me
Oh, yeah.
feel good too.
Yep. Okay.
What'd you do to
I also
celebrate?
felt good.
It's illegal for me to tell you that.
Yeah. All right.
You can whisper it.
My answer happened last night. I went to a concert. I went to see Choir Boy, who opened for AFI. Choir
Nice.
Boy is a band that started in Salt Lake, and I'm friends with some of them. So I got to see some friends from a long time
Wow.
ago, which was great. And then I got to see my
Pays
favorite
to be a
band.
celebrity.
I got to see probably my favorite band ever play, which is AFI.
Really?
And they-
Favorite band
they-
ever?
I think so. If I had to pick a favorite band over my entire life, I'd pick AFI.
Wow.
It'd be between them and Weezer probably, but I think I have to pick AFI because I've enjoyed like almost everything they've put out, and Weezer's been real hit and miss for me. They sounded so good, and it was so much fun, and I just felt really alive and happy the whole show, and it also made me feel like, oh, here's a band that has the original lineup from when they started, and they all seem like they're still just like best friends with each other. And it made me think of like the three of us too, how we can still be best
Mm.
friends after recording together for 6 years. And it just made me really happy. Like I love that band and I love the show. And I even like got in the mosh pit and went up, like I was up in the front. It was great. So
Nice.
had a great
Nice.
time. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, that was my first concert ever. Was you took me a Warp Tour in Boise, and I saw
We saw
AFI
AFI
was
there.
the
Yeah.
headliner.
Yeah.
It was cool.
All right, truth and flaw. We're gonna do a truth and flaw. So one of the boys has a actual truth about wildlife, and the other one has a lie, and I have to decide which is telling the truth.
Wes, plug your ears. Mike, what one was I doing again?
You were doing, I forget. Hold on.
They're trying to mess with my brain, and it works. And
I'll
got-
just
you
say
did,
what mine
lie.
is, and I don't remember though
Or
if
truth.
it's true or not.
No,
Okay.
you did truth.
So
forget.
mine is squirrels can't burp.
Okay.
Mine is no aquatic animal has ever been to outer space.
No aquatic animal.
Well, that's a loaded one.
I'm
'cause I
pretty
don't think
sure that
any
they've
animals
taken-
have.
Fish to space.
Jeff is a skeptic
Yeah.
through and through.
I'm gonna say Jeff's
Van Halen.
is true. Mike's is the flaw.
It's the Van Allen, Jeff, not Van Halen.
Jeff's telling the
Uh,
truth. Mike is lying.
You're right.
All right.
How do you know? That's luck. That
I
was
feel
lucky.
like I've seen videos of them taking
Of course
like
they
goldfish
put a
to
fish
space.
to space.
Yeah. They're just throwing stuff at the wall.
That's
at
true.
NASA
All
these
on
days.
green screen anyway.
Yeah. All right. We're gonna leave that. We're gonna do a quick what would Mike and Jeff do? Let's pick Megan's story. You're bitten by this spider and you start to see a black spot appear on your face. What are you doing?
An octopus in space? That'd be cool.
I think that's where they came
space.
from.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
They don't need to breathe, I don't
Cthulhu.
think.
Right.
What would I do if a spider was on my
If
face?
you were bit by a spider and then you start to have some of the symptoms that Megan was having, what are you doing?
Which one was Megan?
She's the singer.
Yeah. I'm not doing. I do a lot of makeup on my face. for
Start wearing
one thing.
makeup.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, what's Christian Bale's routine in American Psycho? He like ices his face and does 1,000 crunches and stuff.
Oh,
Red light
ice
mask.
your face.
That's
yeah.
what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Get
Okay.
like a CO2 canister, put on your face,
Right.
like
Yeah,
the
you
wart
could get
remover
some-
stuff.
Some silly putty and just pack it in there too. All right. I wanted to ask this because I want to
Pee
talk
on
about
it?
what you actually should do. there
Sometimes
are people out
peeing
there
on-
that think that's what you're supposed to do, and it is not.
It'd be hard to
Stare.
pee on your own face if you're a woman, especially.
I don't have that pressure for sure. I can't get it up to
You'd
my
have to do
face.
like a handstand kind of thing.
Yeah, then I could do it.
Right.
We've seen that
do
happen,
like-
me and Jeff.
I have one. I do like what Wes did when he was bit by one ant and make a whole episode about it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, if you are actually bitten by the spider, the first thing you should do is treat the wound. So, put some antibacterial ointment or whatever on the bite site to make sure you don't get an infection. Next is going to be kind of up to you. If you know it was a brown recluse and you're worried, then go to the hospital. What I would advise, though, is waiting to see if you start to have any of those systemic symptoms. So if you start to see that target pattern forming around the bite wound with some blackness and like blue and whatnot, then you definitely want to go into the hospital. And if you do go to the hospital, the most important thing is to advocate for yourself. Make sure your doctor speaks to an actual toxicologist that knows what they're talking about. There are potential different treatment options for brown recluse bites, but there's no antivenom. So what they're going to try and do is slow down those symptoms and stop that systemic reaction. But you really need to talk with someone that knows their shit and knows what the most effective treatments currently are.
Get a good, like, clear picture of it.
Yep. Yeah, because doctors are amazing. They do so much good in the world. But sometimes with these kind of things, they just are going off what they've read in the handbook. And toxicologists are up to date on the current procedures. So talk to a toxicologist. Okay. Oh, sorry. A little bit of prevention too, just to put this in there. If you live in a place that has brown recluses, try to reduce clutter in your home because they really do like dark crevices and stuff to hide in. So anything you can do to give them less habitat is really good. So just kind of like maintaining a clutter-free home can actually really help. It's a good reason to be clean.
I don't live in Utah, but I have so much clutter. They're probably gonna come here.
Well,
They're on
other
their way.
spiders could be there too. So also the other thing you can do is if you're picking up clothes or boots or whatever else, give them all a quick shake before you put them on, and that'll just decrease your chances of surprising one of these spiders and making them bite you, and probably killing it.
Do you have any ethical concerns over using
Pesticides.
pesticides or like even those spider strips you mentioned, like that kind of prevention?
I used to use those spider strips, and then I felt really bad about it because I just think it's a terrible way for an animal to die. But a lot of these spider experts that I read up on said that you could use those if you're worried about them. So
What?
personally, I don't like them, but I wouldn't blame someone that lives in brown recluse range using them.
So the spider strips, like, spiders kind of die overnight in those things,
Mhm.
or like in a day. But then brown recluse can go a year without eating. So why do they die?
I think they just die from like overexerting themselves trying to get away from it, but I'm not sure. Yeah,
That is a tough way to go.
I don't
That's
like
what
it.
I think. That's what NBA players should be doing: dying on the court. They're not trying hard enough.
That's how hard
They don't
should be
want it
working.
enough.
Yeah. Leave it all on the court, we always say, but they never do.
Literally.
Wimby
All right.
tried to.
It's true.
Yeah, I do feel like personally I don't like them, but I don't really want to get into the ethics of like killing a spider because I think it's wrong, but I don't know if I really
It's not like a
think
message.
people should
you
think
you
it's
need
wrong.
to- yeah.
Sure.
Pick your battles.
Yep, exactly. All right. So, Jeff, do you have some nice advice would suffice? I know we had some
do.
left over. Okay.
Oh, we got a bunch.
Okay. Well, I'm going to do some listener questions too. So
I know,
we
but
don't...
I'm just saying,
Okay.
don't act like this is the end of it.
Okay. All right.
Koro Addy wants to know, bear to the left or moose to the right? Which way do you turn?
Stuck in the middle with you.
What kind of bear? You can decide.
Well, would it matter?
Yes,
I mean, grizzly bear, you turn towards the moose.
I would.
Black bear?
Turning towards the bear every time.
Okay. KC Cryptid, I recently broke both my feet. How do I stay sane? I guess it depends how far away the moose and bear are. Like, if it's for a picture, I'll turn towards the grizzly bear.
Sure. Let's go to this next one.
How do they I was like bedridden for 2 months. I couldn't walk because my knee. Watched a ton of Game of Thrones. Had a fling that ended pretty quick because I couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
And took a lot of oxycodone. So those are 3 things I would recommend.
I don't think you should do
Would
any of those
recommend.
things.
Wow, okay.
I feel like I've always been really good at entertaining myself and not like feeling like I don't get bored like watching media or reading books. So I think I would just do that. So yeah, I guess I shouldn't. Jeff's Game of Thrones one I don't think was a bad idea. Catch up on some shows that you like, read some fun books, write in a journal, do all those like things you've been putting off for a long time because you have like more active things to do.
You pick up crocheting.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's a fun little
Have you been
hobby.
thinking about that?
Or painting.
I used to do it a lot with my mom. Yeah. It's
I
fun.
used to make beanies.
Yeah, that's like something you can double up with a TV show.
Yeah, that's true.
You
That's
doing
a
both at the
big
same time.
argument me and Wes have had is like, I made him a dark gray beanie and he thinks it's blue. And
Oh yeah.
we argued about that for a while. He's
Colors
like, it was
are
my
hard for us.
beanie. And I was like,
Colors.
I made it. I chose the
we-
yarn. And
We
it went
see
for a while.
color very differently, me and
Yeah.
Jeff.
Right.
Yeah.
But I would say too, like at my apartment complex, there's this dog that can't walk, and they just wheel it around in a little wheelbarrow. So just
Yeah.
have like someone wheel you around everywhere in a little like
Sure.
wagon thing, you know?
Yeah.
Could be fun.
Radio.
Yeah. What?
Didn't Radio in that Cuba
Yeah,
Gooding Jr.
Pushed
movie have a little
shopping
wagon?
cart around. Yeah. Yeah,
Right.
you could have
Yeah,
radio
he's
push you in
available.
his
Yeah,
shopping
radio.
cart.
Right. You could do one of those elliptical machines, but instead of your feet, do it on your hands.
How did Radio ever get made? It was like at the height of his
I
career
love
too.
that movie.
Yeah, you did.
I don't know. I must have seen it at least once. I hope
Radio
I did.
don't know what pants to wear.
Jeez.
All right. You want to do one more, Jeff, and then I'll do some listener questions.
Rosie Reed says, my brother is going through a bad breakup and I'd love some advice on how to support him.
The best way to get over someone is to get under someone. That's what I've always said.
It's hard out there though, Wes.
Are you telling
It
her
is
to
hard.
sleep with her brother?
No, I'm not saying that at all. No, I think the times that I've had really bad breakups, the thing that's helped me the most is really leaning on friends and then spending more time outdoors. And I know those are like really generic answers, but it's true. And they have really helped me. So those would be my 2 pieces of advice.
No, and I'd say like a bad breakup, there's normally pretty toxic feelings involved. And you just gotta like realize that even if she became interested in you again, like it probably wouldn't be a very healthy relationship. So like
Yeah.
it's over.
There's a reason
you
you
just
broke
gotta
up.
accept that it's over.
Yeah.
Wait, I got
Mike, what
one
you-
more. I wanna do.
Wait. Mike didn't say anything.
I'd say go make some homemade bread together.
Okay.
With who?
Him and his sister.
Yeah.
Or the
I like
ex?
that.
Why?
Not
No.
with the ex.
The ex is not going to be a.
Daisy
a
K.
factor in that
Bingham asks, how do I act like the boss of people I'm already friends with? Just got a promotion. So she's friends with people who she was
Ooh.
working with, and then she just got promoted to be managing of them.
Yeah. I personally don't think that bosses need to be bossy. So I just think you just act like yourself and just be direct about like when you need something from them, but you don't need to be bossy about it.
But what if they like take advantage of your niceness and start coming in late and slacking off?
Well,
Like,
at
what
that
if your
point,
friend
then it's
comes
a
in
different
late?
question. I think, but that's like a hypothetical, you know? So in my
It's
mind,
a
it's like,
realistic hypothetical.
sure, if your friend comes in late, then you kindly tell them, hey, we need to make sure that you're on time, you know? I don't know. I just think like if you're not comfortable with that, then don't be their manager. But I don't feel like bosses have to be bossy, if that makes sense. It's not very good
Yeah.
advice. I'm not doing a good job on that one.
No, I mean, I think that's why you're a bad boss, you know?
Yeah,
Mhm.
I would be a bad boss. I
I
hate
would.
upsetting people.
So one thing I found pretty helpful is to have one-on-one meetings with. It's a weird to call them, but like your superior is what you are now. So like make sure you are still spending quality time with each other, but make it in like a formal setting where it's like not quite a performance review, but just having a friendly chat about how their responsibilities are going, and make sure that they know that like you're still going to be friends and want to have lunch and all that stuff together still, but also there's going to be a time, maybe once a week or whatever, where there's going to be a formal sit down together. You can discuss things a little more professionally.
Sure. Like
I'd say
have some
you're,
like delineation between boss mode and friend mode.
For sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good way to put it.
I'd say you're manager now. You should be friends with other managers, not other
Not
you're
not your
non-managers.
inferiors.
You know? Yeah, so
you're,
I would
you're on another
like
level.
get to work and you gotta humiliate one of them. You know,
Yeah.
like if they come in 5 minutes late, pull their pants down and be like, "That's for being late. You can't pull those back up for an hour."
Yeah.
All right.
That's pretty
Okay.
crazy. You're 0 for 3, Jeff. Not a single piece
I've
of
got-
good advice.
I've got a couple questions now from patrons. This one's from Gabby, and I think this is a really good question. If emotions are defined through behavior and body language and animals exhibit similar patterns, what makes emotions strictly human? Is it our ability to communicate these emotions? This question goes on for a while, but basically what Gabby is saying is it really anthropomorphic to say animals feel emotions, or it is simply a way to make us feel superior? So basically, like, Gabby's saying, you know, can we really say that they can't feel emotions? And I think the important thing here to realize is that anthropomorphism isn't saying that animals can't feel emotions. I strongly believe that animals feel emotions. I know my dog feels emotions. I know wild animals feel them.
Scared.
What anthropomorphism is saying that we can correctly interpret their emotions.
Like we attribute it to how we feel and how we
Right.
handle situations.
Right. That we can interpret them through the human experience of emotion. And I think we can make inferences about them. And I think there's like certain emotions that come through very clearly and we can guess. But because we can't communicate with those animals, we can't know exactly what they're feeling. And even people that we can communicate with, we can't know exactly what they're feeling.
Well, like
So I just think like that's important to remember the distinction.
we have fun riding a bicycle, but forcing a bear to ride a bicycle, like you can't say for sure that they're having fun.
Yeah.
That's
All right.
anthropomorphizing them.
For sure. All right, this one's from Dale. Dale says, since y'all are my dream blunt rotation,
Nice.
even though we've established that Jeff is bad at passing the blunt, I was wondering who each of you would include in your own dream blunt rotation. Maybe do 2 people.
3. Weird 3.
Okay, we can do 3. I would want David Attenborough. I would want Benicio del Toro and the Pope.
Ooh, that's a good one. That'd be. You think our newest pope ever tokes up?
I don't think he does, but he probably has.
Has.
At some point. Yeah.
I'll go Jeff Bridges, Emma Stone, and Steven Spielberg.
I like that.
I'm gonna get
Just a bunch of actors and filmmakers.
me and
I guess.
Wes's mom, just because
Ooh,
she gets
such a
straight to the
pick.
point, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I
We would
think
hear
that-
some shit.
Yeah, she would ask the other people like some real hard-hitting questions right away. And then I want Vladimir Putin, just loosen him up a bit, see what he says. And I think I'll take, with that same line of thought, Kim Jong-un.
Yeah.
Great. All right, Mike, this is a question for you. Do you handwrite or type your journal? And this is from Alicia. Alicia's really curious how you do it, and then says at the end, also, we wouldn't be mad at more journal episodes from you, please.
Bruh. So I type my day-to-day journal. I'm typing. I just have a running document. But when I'm on a trip or when we're traveling, I always have a little notebook with me, and I'm taking shorthand notes that I will later expand into fully coherent thoughts later on in
You
the
are
document.
really good at it. Okay, I got a couple more quick ones. This one's from Swakes. Swakes says, hey crew, we have garter snakes under our hot tub. Any suggestions on how to remove them? I don't want to harm them, but I have a deep-rooted fear of snakes, and I miss my hot tub time. Those are almost certainly snakes that are just passing the winter under there, probably because it's a warm spot. They are going to leave on their own very soon if they haven't already. So I would just leave them. They're not going to stay there. Snakes don't have like a fidelity to one spot. These garter snakes don't.
Turn the temperature down if they like it because it's warm.
Sure.
under
Make it an ice tub. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I think just one more for today. This is from Bukol 18. My brother says it's too cold on Antarctica to smell the penguins. I argue that since all the penguin sewage is underneath them where it's warm, they would smell super bad. Were the penguins expected stinky, super stinky, or surprisingly unstinky? What do you guys think?
Ooh.
What was your personal
It
experience
was very
on penguin
concerning our
colonies?
first time hitting land because it smelled so bad. It was like, this kind of sucks. Like, and it was cool, but it's also like, this is really hard to breathe.
Yeah. It was.
It's not
They
that
were very
cold in
stinky.
Summer in Antarctica.
No.
It's like, 40 degrees.
It's warm enough for their poop to thaw out. It was stinky.
Yeah, a little more than expected.
All right, I do have one more quick one that I did want to do. This is someone that lives in Oklahoma. It's Mallory. Mallory says they have a lot of
Brown recluses there.
a lot of rattlesnake festivals, which are hunts throughout the state. And at these festivals, I'm just going to briefly sum this up. They do really terrible things to the snakes. They sew their mouths shut. They essentially kind of torture them in front of people. And Mallory's heard people say that the hunts are necessary for population control and that they use the snakes to make antivenom, and is asking if that's true. Whether or not they do anything good with these snakes after torturing them, they're still torturing them for enjoyment. I think they're very wrong. I hate these rattlesnake festivals. I think it is just human barbarism, torturing animals. You can use rattlesnakes for antivenom and do it in an ethical way that doesn't harm the snake. So I think they're very bad.
I have seen some online where they claim to like not hurt any snakes, where they would put them in like a ring and let people come see, but
Yeah.
they round them up and like
They-
take their venom.
They almost always hurt the snakes at these things.
Mhm.
So I would be surprised if they're anywhere they don't. Okay. Conservation Corner. This is a least concern animal. They're doing fine. Brown recluses are fine. If you have to remove them from your house, I wouldn't feel too guilty about it. And finally, our claw rating. This is a new animal, so we're going to give it a claw rating, 0 to 10 claws. Mike, how many claws does a brown recluse get?
6, I think. I think they're cool.
Just like their eyes.
6 eyeballs, 6
Just
points.
like 6 eyes. Yeah.
There you go.
Jeff?
I'm gonna give them a 4. I like
Okay.
I don't like my small spiders being brown.
Yeah.
I like small spiders being jet black or colorful.
Okay. I'm going to agree with Mike. I'm going to give him a 6. I think it's always impressive when an animal that small can have an actual danger to humans. That's just amazing to me. Like,
So
think
you
of
love
how-
mosquitoes.
yeah, think of how big we are
No, you don't.
I don't hate mosquitoes though. Think
Mm.
of how big we are to a brown recluse. Like, just picture it for a second of like how
Oh,
big a
yeah.
giant would be
It's
compared to
giving
them.
me confidence.
And then the fact that you could bite that giant and potentially kill them, that's amazing.
Mm.
So, and I think they're a cool looking spider, and I've learned a lot about them, so I do like them. So they get a 6.
I'll put mine up to a 5 because I like how they have sex. I think that is like,
Yeah, those
That's
I like
really
some
interesting.
foreplay and all that stuff,
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, that is it for the episode. Thanks, guys, for listening. I hope it has expanded your feelings and knowledge about a very misunderstood little critter.
Show enough has, Wes.
All
Thanks,
right.
Wes.
Yep. And as always, we've got new stuff coming out on Patreon as well as our free feed. So check it out. Patreon is just becoming better and better, and we're really excited for some upcoming stuff on there, including my brown sugar syrup recipe.
It's coming.
All right. We'll see you guys. Love ya.
We'll see you.
Bye.